I was born standing, no warning, no warm-up, just dropped into the dirt like a sack of meat and expected to run before I could breathe right. Legs wobbling, ears twitching, heart beating out of rhythm, and already I smell predators. My mother? She's too busy licking the afterbirth off me to offer comfort. The herd? They've already started walking away. In the wild, you either stand up fast or die quietly. And me? I'm still trying to figure out what the hell I am while the world spins like a loaded gun. You think you're born into freedom, into rolling hills and open skies. But what you actually get is wind that cuts through your skin, bugs in your eyes, and the distant howl of something that wants to eat your face. You don't get to grow at your own pace. You get shoved into survival like it's a race you didn't sign up for. Your legs aren't ready, but they better be, because if you fall behind, nobody looks back, not even your mother. She's got another foal from last year watching too, like he's wondering how long you'll last. Spoiler, most don't. You learn early that the world doesn't wait for the weak. You stumble once and hooves miss your head by inches, not out of cruelty, just momentum. You're not raised. You're dragged into competence by speed and fear. The older foals don't help. They kick, they bite, they race like they've already seen death and decided not to wait around. And the stallion? He's not your dad. He's a muscle-bound warning sign. Step out of line, and you learn what teeth taste like. So if you're still upright after all that, maybe subscribe and hit the bell, because standing still is how you vanish out here. There's no shelter, no nest, no corner to hide in, just open land, where everything can see you, and most things want to test how fast you can run. The rain hits like bullets, the sun cooks your back, even the grass cuts when it's dry enough. You sleep standing, legs shaking, ears twitching at every sound. And when you're finally about to drift off, the herd moves again, because horses don't rest. They relocate, constantly. You don't get comfort, you get motion, you get windburn, you get sore hooves before your name even means anything, if you ever had one to begin with. The herd looks beautiful from a distance, until you're in it. Then it feels like a machine with no brakes. One wrong step and you get trampled, not out of hate, just because no one stops. The mares don't coddle you. They expect you to read the room by watching ears, eyes, tails. Miss one signal and you get a kick hard enough to remember. You learn fast, or you learn dead. And when fights break out, stallions smashing into each other like thunder, you don't hide behind anyone. You just stand still and hope the dust settles somewhere else. There's no such thing as safe here, just not dead yet. You get judged from the moment you can walk. Too slow? Weak? Too fast? Threat. The herd doesn't need individuals. They need order. So you learn to blend. Same stride, same reactions, same fear. Any sign of uniqueness becomes a liability. The stallion sees it as rebellion. The other foals see it as a challenge. And the predators? They see it as an invitation. So you tuck your personality somewhere deep and pretend you're just another set of legs. You think horses run from predators? No. We run from attention. Because out here, attention gets you killed. You're always surrounded but never really seen. There's no bonding, no warm friendships, just proximity. You move together because moving alone gets you killed faster, not because anyone cares. You try nuzzling up to an older mare once, she bites your ear and walks away. Lesson learned. Affection is dangerous. It makes you pause, and pausing makes you vulnerable. So you keep your distance, keep your head down, and pretend you're okay, even when you're not. That's how wild horses survive. Not by strength, not by beauty, but by never asking for anything. There's no place to break down, no corner to fall apart. If your legs shake, you walk anyway. If your ribs show, you graze harder. And if your spirit cracks a little, you hide it. Because weakness is louder than a scream out here. The predators don't chase the herd, they chase the hesitation. And the herd, they don't wait for questions. They run, always forward, always away. You don't cry, you chew dry grass and act like you're not hungry, like you're not scared, like you didn't just watch a foal vanish into tall grass and never come out. Because showing anything more than survival means you're next. The first time you see a predator up close, you don't freeze, you fracture. Your legs move before your brain does, but the panic doesn't help. It scatters the herd. And when the dust settles, it's not always the slowest who gets taken. It's the one who ran the wrong direction. That's the part no one tells you. Survival isn't about strength. It's about luck, angles, and who happens to be in front of the teeth. Later they find what's left. A tail maybe, some blood on the dirt. No one grieves. You just keep walking. And deep down you hope someone remembers your scent, but they don't. You think the worst is over after your first escape, but survival doesn't get easier, it just gets heavier. You carry the memory of who didn't make it, the sound of bones snapping, the silence afterward. It doesn't leave you. It hides in your hooves, in your shoulders, in the way you flinch at shadows. You graze like nothing's wrong, but you sleep less, dream less. And every time the herd changes direction, part of you wonders if they'd even notice if you weren't there. Because out here, the only thing remembered is movement. And once you stop moving, you become nothing. Fast. Time starts to blur. Days don't feel like days. They feel like punishment on repeat. The The same dry grass, the same tired legs, the same wind scraping across your eyes. You don't notice yourself growing. One day you just realize your legs don't wobble anymore and no one kicks you out of the way. But that doesn't feel like victory. It feels like aging into a job you never applied for. Now you're the one pushing others, the one staring at younger foals and wondering which one will make it. You've inherited the indifference not because you wanted to, but because it was the only thing that kept you here. You stop counting seasons. Rain doesn't mean hope. It means mud and slipping hooves. The sun doesn't mean warmth. It means cracked skin and empty watering holes. And the herd? It feels more like a rumor than a family now. You walk among them, but you don't speak. There's no language for what you feel. Just flicked ears, flattened ears, shifting weight. Everyone's tired. Everyone's bracing. You wonder if anyone remembers how to run for joy, not fear, but you already know the answer. Joy gets crushed under hooves just like anything else soft. It never had a chance here. You watch others fall behind. Some to injury, some to age, some to nothing specific. Just the slow wearing down of something wild. And no one stops. Not for a limp, not for a scream, not even for a body. That's when you realize the herd isn't cruel. It's practical, cold, efficient. It doesn't punish weakness. It ignores it until it disappears. And deep down, you start to understand that one day, it'll be your turn. You won't trip. You won't cry. You'll just slow down slightly, and the world will keep turning. Because out here, legacy isn't what you leave behind. It's how quickly you're forgotten. You don't dream anymore. Sleep is too light, too alert. Every sound feels like teeth. Every rustle, a reason to stay awake. You graze because it keeps your mouth busy, not because you're hungry. You move because standing still means becoming part of the landscape, permanently. You don't run unless you have to, not because you're lazy, but because you know exactly what's chasing you and how close it always is. You've stopped imagining greener pastures. Now you just hope for fewer bones. This isn't living. It's stalling the inevitable with hooves and habit. The stallions fight, but it's not about honor. It's about access. Who gets to pass on their misery next? You watch them crash into each other like storms, teeth snapping, hooves flying. One of them limps away, bleeding from the neck, and no one follows. The winner rears up like a god, but no one worships him. The herd just shifts direction. The mares? They're not impressed. They're tired. Like you. Like everyone. Dominance isn't power here. It's a countdown. Every strong one becomes weak. Every leader ends up limping behind, wondering where all that rage went. They call us symbols of freedom. Poets write about our gallop. Painters love our silhouettes at sunset. But they never see what's behind the image. Cracked hooves, sunburnt skin, teeth worn down from chewing dust. They don't show the flies that never leave your eyes, or the predators that wait just outside the frame. You're not a symbol. You're a statistic. One of thousands born into motion with no destination. And the worst part? The world still romanticizes your suffering. They put it on postcards, they hang it on walls, and they never ask what it actually felt like. You start to disappear long before you're gone. You move slower, but no one says anything. You eat less, but no one asks. The herd moves, and you follow, just far enough to not be left behind, but never close enough to feel part of it. You stop reacting to danger the same way, not because you're brave, but because you're tired. You've outrun enough shadows to know most of them are real. And when you collapse one day, it won't be from a predator, it'll be from weight. The weight of being seen as wild, free, majestic, when all you ever were was trying to stay alive. There's no funeral, no circle around your body. If you fall, you fall. If you die, they move. The herd doesn't pause. Nature doesn't mourn. You might become food. You might just rot. Maybe a bird plucks a strand of your mane for its nest, and that's the closest you'll ever get to legacy. No one will tell your story. No one even knew it. You were just legs, just muscle, just motion. And now you're still. The sky stays blue. The grass keeps growing. Another foal is born somewhere, dropped into dirt, and told to run before it's ready. Nothing changes. Nothing ever did. If anyone notices you're gone, they don't show it. The herd shifts slightly, like stepping around a rock. That's your legacy, a detour. Maybe someone grazes where you once stood. Maybe your mother sniffs the air for a second longer. But the truth is, you were never meant to be remembered. Wild horses don't get stories. They get shapes in the dust, tracks that vanish by morning. You don't become a legend. You become part of the silence. And somehow, that silence feels louder than anything you ever did while breathing. And if by some silent mercy, you make it to old age, there's no reward, no peace, just joints that ache, vision that fades, and hooves that crack a little more each mile. You're slower now, and that means you're dangerous. To yourself, to the herd, to the order. They start drifting ahead, not by much, just enough. The space grows, the glances stop, and one morning, you realize no one's waiting. You could scream, but wild horses don't scream. They vanish, quietly. So tell me, after hearing all this, does wild still mean free, or just alone with better views? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's see who's still running.